She knew the deal, but she was playing stupid. All right, they knew. Well, go ahead, brother.
For the Jews having no dealings with the Samaritans.
So the Jews weren't doing. So why weren't they dealing with the Samaritans? Because they knew they weren't their people.
That's right.
See, that was that Herodian stuff starting. You know, they weren't dealing with them. All right. Remember, a lot of the Israelites resented Herod and that whole thing. So there was always that contention. Go ahead.
Yahushua answered and said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of the Most High, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. The woman saith unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. But
that goes to show you that wisdom was not embedded unto the woman.
That's right.
Because it completely went over her head. That's right. And he was talking about the knowledge of wisdom and truth. That's the living water. She's still talking about, well, what I'm going to get it with. That's right. He's like, damn.
And the heathens too. Esau, Edom, and the 2/3. They can't see this. They're under a delusion. They cannot see it. And that's it. From whence then hast thou that living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well?
And goes, naming us now.
And drank there, and there was some stink too.
He was false flagging like a son.
And drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle. Yahushua answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water, springing up in everlasting life. The woman said unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw.
So she thought she was just going to get that special bottle of Evian or something. Like he was going to be like, hand it to him, you know? Right, because she still didn't get it. She still wasn't getting it, man.
That's right. Yahushua said the kind. All right.
But the parables were really plain.
That's right.
Just not to her.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. Yahushua said unto her, Go call thy husband and come thither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband.
So now we messing with him because he proves you he knew everything already. All right. So that goes to show you that, hey, the Lord got a sense of humor, man. And like Ross Page, he was also austere. That's right. Because that was kind of like throwing a little salt in the cut. Like,
that's right.
You know?
Because he knows she was a hoe.
Right.
The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahushua said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband. For thou hast had 5 husbands.
Sounds like she just hopped off the cock carousel.
That's right. And he whom thou now hast is not thy husband.
She was still on the cock carousel.
That's it.
Right.
All them branches.
She was hopping she was on the branch. She saw that. She hopped on the next branch, right.
That's right. And that saidest thou truly. The woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet.
Man, this dude, you know, rise on the road. You know, so, go ahead. He could have named names if she, you know.
That's right. Yeah. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship.
Real quick, give me that scripture that the heathens worship in vain. I think it's Jeremiah 3:23.
And while they're getting that,
what it is, because I quoted it earlier and I can't remember if that was it.
I'll give one. Psalms 96:5. All the gods of the nations are idols.
But Yahweh made the heaven.
But who? Excuse me.
But Yahweh made the heaven.
But the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, made the heavens. So there's no way these heathens gonna get it. Did you got it?
Yeah, it's Jeremiah 10. I'm gonna start at 1. Hear ye the words which the Lord Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at the heathens are dismayed at these signs of heaven, man. They worship everything on the planet, man. They don't understand this truth. When it comes to this truth, man, this is a whole other level they can't get because it wasn't never given to them. It was only given to the Israelites, the elect of Israel. That's right. And that's it, man. So these people ain't gonna understand this living water, the water that's coming from on high. So the Lord giving us this knowledge and wisdom to understand.
That ain't what they asked for. You wanted
I'm looking for it now.
I got it right here.
Oh, so I was right. It is.
Yeah, it's 3:23.
No, but that still was good. That was
quoted. It's Jeremiah 3:23. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills, and for the multitude of mountains. Truly in your...
And hills and mountains representing other nations and countries, their governments, their power structures. God bless America. Fool, are you crazy? All right? Go ahead.
Truly in Yahweh, our power is the salvation of Israel.
So, what she was talking about, but that's why Yahweh Shai gonna check her again. Go ahead, brother.
I got another one for you.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Slacky. Said they inherited lies. That's right.
That's a good one.
That's right. I'm not supposed to inherit it.
Here you go.
Jeremiah 16.
So we can get to you.
I got it. Jeremiah 16:19. Oh Yahweh, my strength, watch, bro. Oh Yahweh, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies. That's right. Vanity and things wherein there is no profit. That's right.
These heathens actually really believe that they have an actual chance to get to the kingdom.
Yes, because guess what? They're going to be in church singing their little songs tomorrow, rocking back and forth.
The Muslims blowing themselves up.
Right. Or up in the Judah churches, they're going to be flopping around on the floor.
Eating all kind of leaven. You know, doing all kind of manner of abominations, and going to work and not keeping the laws, just being heathen. But it's okay.
It makes our chances that much better. So actually, when I see a 2/3, I get excited because I got that much more of a chance. Right.
This Psalms 50 and 16. But unto the wicked, Yahweh said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, saying thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee.
Right. So why even go to church? They cast it behind them. They don't follow what's in the book. That's right.
I mean, they'll be so quickly to say, "Oh, I believe in Jesus," but then when the Lord Himself kept the law, statutes, commandments, kept the feast, kept the dedication, kept things that they can't even explain, they'll dismiss that. Oh, that's the old law.
And you know what's funny too? I had 4 people. One of them might actually be a J. But 4 former clients, heathens, all contacted me this week, talking about all this stuff that you used to talk about all them years ago. 4.
That's right. And that's going to be...
They're seeing it.
It's disturbing them now.
They're seeing it. It's disturbing. And when and Annetta was one of them, this Polish chick. I was talking to Annetta. And I said, yeah, it's about, 7, 8 years later from what I said, but it's exactly... And she said, I don't want to talk about it. It makes me nervous. But I believe you. This is so scary. And I'm like, yes, it is,
And that's the proof.
And I'm giving her false hope. I'm like, but you're going to be all right. She's not. I'll see her on the other side.
But that's proof that when this really kicks up and they start putting the martial law and they start putting out these terrorists and the RFID and so forth, there's going to be a great influx of people trying to come and find that my people be willing in the day of His power.
And they want to silence the prophets. That's your cue.
Oh, Khan, like the elder had said, I was telling him how yesterday they on the news they were basically saying how there's the war of information. Now I played the video, but I'll get the article. It says the rise of COVID-19 also. Right, but basically what they were warning about is the misinformation. It says the rise of COVID-19 also means the rise of misinformation, and expert weighs in. Now basically they had a third party come in.
A dude with a bald face and the tie who had pale skin.
Right, that's right. And this is the actual video. But he said that the new wave of information is basically being shared at 20 times the pace that mainstream media is. Wow. So they're basically saying that with that comes false information. Now I played a little bit of the video, and Lord willing, we'll put it in the link in the description of the video. But basically, this man just panicking and basically saying how you're gonna hear how the coronavirus was created in a lab. You're gonna hear how Bill Gates warned us about years before. Basically everything. If a brother could get Hosea 6 and 5. Because they've been hewed down by the prophets. The prophets have already declared these things. What is it? Isaiah 48. I declared these things from the beginning, and they came to pass. So now it ain't funny. Now these men that were out there, that's why now that famine of the word is going to come in, because now that fear is setting in these people that laughed at what you were telling them about. Oh yeah, conspiracy theory this, conspiracy theory that. Now, like the brother had said earlier, he got these articles and these different article clips by his auntie sending it to him like, you know, you were right. Now they're scared, man.
Like you said that Wuhan, the book with the Wuhan thing in there.
I shared that
like
right away.
She's a simple, like, old woman. Like, it don't even. I got a precept for you though. It's Isaiah 44 and 24. Thus saith Yahweh thy Redeemer, and he that formed thee from the womb. I am Yahweh that maketh all things, that stretcheth forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself, that frustrateth the tokens of the liars, and maketh diviners mad, that turneth wise men backward, and maketh their knowledge foolish. And here's the point, that confirmeth the word of his servant, and performeth the counsel of his messengers. So, hey, the things that the prophet's been saying, the Lord is making it happen now, man. What's that Ezekiel? Sure, they know that a prophet was amongst them.
That's right. And they play in Spin City, because all the stuff they saying is misinformation. It's the truth. Yes, Bill Gates said that and it's countless of video feeds of him saying that we need to depopulate the world through viruses, through what was it? Vaccinations, viruses, and then he said healthcare. He said those are 3 ways we're going to kill the people. And guess what's happening? The healthcare is killing the people, the virus is killing the people, and the vaccines are killing the people.
God, Esau was the devil. He's on the left-hand side. It says that Satan made himself as an angel of light, even his messengers. So they have what you call self-fulfilled prophecies. They put it out there and they perform it, because what? Esau's coming after the workers of Satan, man, on the left-hand side.
Hey,
the Lord using them.
Esau's like a Venus flytrap, man. That's right. He's a flower. He spring open, all right? And then a little bug come flying and land on the flower and get eaten. You know. Go ahead, bro.
This a little more on this real quick.
A little more.
That confirmeth the word of his servant, and performeth the counsel of his messengers, that said to Jerusalem, because all this is happening for this purpose right here, that said to Jerusalem, thou shalt be inhabited, and to the cities of Judah ye shall be built, and I will raise up the decayed places thereof. So the Lord brought his prophets back and performing what we said, because what? Now's the time we get in the kingdom, man. The Malcolm started this lesson off beautifully through the spirit of power Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Welcome to the end of the world, man. We got a hate to say it like that, but we got next, man.
That's right.
Hey, Lord, what we next? We join Ezra Yahushai.
You can clearly see. Anybody thought Moab had next?
He trying to keep from dying off.
Yeah, that dude laughed in that commercial. That didn't work for us. That's right. Yeah, that nigga coughing somewhere, man. All right, go ahead, brother.
This is Ezekiel 12 and 22. Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? Tell them therefore, thus says Lord Power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. For there shall be no more any vain vision nor flattering divination within the house of Israel.
Hey, everything is happening right now.
That's right.
This is the year of prophecy.
That's right.
You know, through the spirit of power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, this is the year of prophecy, man. All right, now we're in the midst of the Passover, and then we have the pestilences happening, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. All that's happening, man. It's been articles that's saying that the coronavirus is contaminating the money. Okay, so what is that gonna bring in, man? They're trying to make it a caste society.
That's why they brought in Bitcoin. That's why they brought all that shit in. 100 different ones, and just to keep pushing the narrative of cashless society, RFID chip, all right, and governmental full control. They want to be as if they got.
As a matter of fact, Jamie Dimon is so stressed out, and I'm gonna tell you, man. I knew that man personally. I used to sit in that man's house, sit at his table, drink coffee with him. He used to run on the treadmill right there in the room when I was doing kickboxing with his daughter, man. And even in his 50s, man, that dude was running 6-7 minute miles, man. That dude was in shape. And so for him to go in for surgery like that, he is stressed. He is stressed out, man. That's what took him down. Because that dude was in shape, man.
And
he had nothing else to do all day but work out and run.
Yeah, but he sees the behind the scenes, though. He knows what's going on in the financial market.
And he's freaking out, and it's got him, and it, you know, damn near took him out, man. Yeah. And like you said, brother, you hit the nail on the head. They're gonna use this. Yeah. Because even Christopher Green said it. They're using this to basically cover up the crash and the fall of the dollar.
That's it.
So this is the perfect. What was that saying? Don't let a good price go waste. Man, they riding this wave all the way to the shore, man.
And let's not forget that they created this virus. And when it comes out on a global scale that the CDC created this virus, it's been over 20 years old. You go in the Lysol bottle, you see coronavirus on it. And corona, and as the Apostle Tahar said months ago, that that's the same thing as SARS, and it goes down and do the research, it's the same thing as motherfucking SARS.
Right, and the fact that they chose then those Resident Evil movies, man, tell me they didn't production. Because corona is raccoon.
That's right.
If you didn't know that you take the word corona and you plain change the letters around, you get raccoon. And how many of you brothers played that Resident Evil game?
Yep.
There it is, man. So it was Raccoon City, and did it not start in Asia?
Yep.
I got some on Asia. This is Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse. This is Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 46. And thou Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and are the glory of her person, woe be unto thee, thou wretched, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. And basically, those Chinese, they don't wear their natural garb. They're all in suit and ties.
Yep.
All right, they speak English. Yep. They all basically forfeited
their
their
garments similar to this. Because we know they were Hebrews too. Matter of fact, man, it's just like Elder Gabar said, man. When you watch some of them 1970 Shaw Brothers, and them garments was raw as hell, man. That Moab was wearing, man. And they don't wear those garments like that no more.
That's right.
All right.
They went away from their, like the Arabs went away from their ancient way. The Chinese, the Moabites, the Ammonite, Japanese, a lot of them. Matter of fact, Japan was so cold that they did not do international trading for years. They wouldn't even open up, like, we ain't trading with nobody. They kept themselves separate until they ended up eating out of that pie. Because that's Bible prophecy. The Bible said that Esau Edom was going to corrupt the world. So the world had to be corrupted.
You know? You got McDonald's and Hooters over there now and stuff.
That's right.
You know.
McDonald's and Hooters, heart attack food.
That's right.
Verse 48, it says, thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore say Yahweh, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. And I'm going to read 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 1. It says, woe be unto thee, Babylon, and Asia, woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria, which is basically what the elders started off with. What was happening in Egypt, Syria is definitely desolate, and guess what, man? Asia and Babylon, man, which is basically like the elder said, which is spiritually what we're preparing for, is that these plagues that are coming upon America, that we see there are these different plagues coming financially, all right, and then Jake forgets, man. Last summer was when. What was it? Iowa was underwater for like halfway through the year, so that only 20 by the end of harvest time, only 30% of the actual 100 was actually sowable, man. And the floods on the hoarded grains that they reported as losses.
Then you had the cattle too. The livestock was getting washed up and killed too.
Yeah, you got right. That snow and that flood that killed all those all that livestock, man. All right.
We'll finish this scripture here. This is 25, Ezekiel 12:25. For I am Yahweh. I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. We know that the prophet is the mouthpiece of Yahweh Shai. So what are we doing? We stand out there telling what's going to happen, and it's happening. There's no delay on it now. You don't have that delay feed no more like you used to have back in the day. It's happening as we speak. Okay. shall speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall no more be prolonged, for in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word and will perform it, says Lord Power.
There you go. What you got? I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
What you got, Danielle?
I actually got 3 precepts.
Yeah, bring them out real quick.
This is Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
And that's what the prophets came to do, man. All right?
They was scared when the man of the Lord showed up.
Right. and you know what? They're going to learn to fear the prophets again. Right.
Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that go forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. This is Romans 3:3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? Most High forbid. Yea, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged.
Hey, they gonna die in there. Let the elder finish that, and then we'll continue with yourself.
This is John 4:21. Yahushua said unto her, Woman, believe me. The hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship.
So basically, Yahushua just told this woman, because according to the Christians, according to vocab alone and apologetics, anybody who calls on the name is good. But the Lord just told her the day will come when what?
He said, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship. For salvation is of the Jews.
Right. And that's it. You know, and all of Israel for that matter. Yes, you may.
And that of is a very simple Greek word. Ek. Out of. Salvation is out of the Jews. From. Salvation is from the Jews. By. Salvation is by the Jews. And what right, I'm gonna hit my favorite one because there's a whole bunch of them. We'll be here all day. For one of the words for X is for. Salvation is for the Jews. It's for, by, in, and everything around only the Israelites. Right. But the hour cometh, and now is. I love that because that right there is so cold. He said the hour cometh, which is talking about now, but he said, and now is, meaning talking about way back then. Israel's never been an open community for none of the heathens, man. It's never been. If you go into the law, go ahead, brother.
This is Psalm 53:6. Oh, that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion. One of the words for Ek is out of the Jews.
That's right.
King David is saying it, that the salvation of Israel came out of Zion. With the Most High bringing back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad, man. There you go. It's of the Jews, man. Israel only. There's no getting around those precept upon precept.
That's right.
Like Elder Rockbar would say, none shall want his mate.
That's right.
Yep, take your other book. You know, you can save it for SHTF to wipe your butt with.
That's right. Right. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. Right. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. The Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Right. So without the truth of Yahweh Yahushai, if you're not calling on Yahweh, you're not calling on Yahushai, you're not saying that the real Israelites are the ones, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and speckled bird across the globe. You're not teaching the whole correct doctrine and gospel, and in danger of being denied by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
This is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 5. It says, These 12 Yahushai sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not in the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
I was going to call for that scripture.
And as you go preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Right now, somewhere real quick, that 1 Kings 8:66. I think that's gonna link right up to that right here.
This is first.
I got it. This is First Kings 8:66. It says, on the 8th day he sent the people away, and they blessed the king, and went unto their tents joyful and glad of heart for all the goodness that the Lord Yahweh had done for David his servant, and for Israel his people.
And for Israel his people. That's the house. That's the house of unto the house of Israel right here. That's it.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
What you got, brother?
I had 2 quick precepts. This is Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33. It says, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. So everything that we've been talking about, starting with the apostles and the elders, is coming into fruition. So everybody's going to realize that it's going to, as the elder Ariella says, is going to be the biggest I told you so in history.
That's right.
We told you all this stuff. We told you pestilence was going to come. We told you that the mark of the beast was going to be put. And we see through this coronavirus, they're trying to push that cashless society, which is going to lead into the mark of the beast.
That's right.
All right. And then this Sirach chapter 36 and verse 16, it says, reward them that wait for thee, and let thy prophets be found faithful. All right, so everything that the prophets that the Lord has set up, this is all that the Lord's doing. The Lord has sent the spirits of the prophets on this earth to preach the downfall of this place, man. In the book of 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter, it says the words that I speak, he said, speak down the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put into your mouth. So this is the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai that we're speaking, starting with the apostles and the elders. They told you that all the benefits is going to be taken away. They told you that this place is going to collapse, and we see it all come into fruition. This is the year of prophecy. Lord willing, we see this whole place crumble and collapse this year.
That's right. That's right. If you're a real Israelite, so-called Negro, Latino, speckled bird, you should be pissed the fuck off. Yeah, you should. And you can. That's how you know the Spirit of the Lord. I was talking to Yaki on the phone yesterday, and I had who would appear to be an Edomite in the car. And he looked straight up like an Edomite. He had a little small beard, and he said he was from Ireland. He was Irish. And we so we sit up there, and I'm just telling him, like, and sighing and crying about the state of American affairs. And guess who was sighing and crying right along with me? To the point where Yakia, who couldn't he see him? Where's Yakia? Okay, he said, right, he couldn't even see him. He asked the question, was like, I was about to ask you, is that Jake? But I told him, like, no, he got to be Jake, but he appears to be an Edomite. The speckled bird is about to wake up. The different Gadites are about to wake up in mass. Speckled bird, I was telling about the dude who you heard me talking to when you called me and I was breaking bread. Yeah. And you was like, damn, I was about to say, was that Jake? Right. But he appeared to be an Edomite, but he was sighing and crying. If you pissed off at this place, you're an Israelite. If you hate this place, you're an Israelite. And you call on the name of the Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, you're going through the curses, man. That's what it's all about. It's not going to always be a visible experience.
It's not that easy.
All right? And it's going to be Jake, the chocolate-covered Jake, all right? Who are actually Edomites, man. Chocolate-covered Edomites, man.
Some of the darkest people are going to find out that they heathens. They're not Israelites, man. Yeah. All right, but what you got?
Black is Isaiah 46 and 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh. There is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me. And remember that when we was getting ready to get delivered out of Egypt, he said, what the Pharaoh said, who is this Yahweh, man? You know, they mocked the Lord, man, and the Lord had to show them, right? Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done. Say my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure, man. All right, so just like Yahweh gave to Moses to tell Pharaoh what he's going to do, man, same thing's going to happen now. The prophets up here rising, they're telling you what the end is from the beginning, right? Because even in the garden, the prophets are around declaring the end, man. Right. The word of the Lord always was intended for us to end this thing, man. But we had to go through. We got to go through in order for the good to come, man.
Precept what he just said. This is Isaiah 48 and 3. It says, I have declared the former things from the beginning, and they went forth out of my mouth, and I suddenly showed them And I did them suddenly, and they came to pass. Hey man, because at the end of the day, hey, that's why it says wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time, because you know that the things that were written aforetime were written for your learning. At the end of the day, hey, Israel has been chastised as a nation, has been tried damn near to be exterminated. And guess what? We're still here, man. Like it said in Acts 26, when Paul made his case to Agrippa, he said, in which salvation our 12 tribes instantly serving Yahweh hope to come to, man. That's the culmination of everything that our ancestors, our forefathers, men of faith have been waiting for, man. That we see now, man. We see at the cusp, man.
These other nations ain't built for this, man. They ain't built for the curse.
And I got a precept. Go ahead.
Two quick ones. This is Psalm 65 and 5. It says, "By terrible things and righteousness,
that's right,
wilt thou answer us, O power of our salvation, who art the confidence of all the ends of the earth."
So if you got, read that first one again, Baba.
Psalm 65 and 5. It says, "By terrible things and righteousness wilt thou answer us."
So if you're getting covered by bug, I can only imagine how the women are freaking out.
Yeah.
They just locusts. They can't hurt you physically. But being covered in locusts, they freaking out, man. So if that ain't something, that's great and terrible, man.
Right.
And then when they leave, all your food is gone.
And they already heard it for food. They ain't got no food like
there you
that.
go, man. So hey, that's hey. Yeah. And then it show you how carnal, not spiritual are. They're your food.
Yep.
Right.
Hell, I be getting a bag. Right. Throw up a net, man.
That's it.
Right. Start popping their legs and heads off and light up the fire. Hey, we eat. Get some honey. You know, and we will eat like the greatest prophet did.
The greatest prophet. Yeah, the greatest prophet.
That's right. You can't eat or drink.
What you got, Rolla?
I think he had
Proverbs 3 and 25. It says, "Be not afraid of sudden fear."
That's right.
Neither of the desolation of the wicked when they come. All right, because basically that's the times we live in. You know, this is the time of the destruction of the wicked.
So we excited about it. Yeah. They panicking. I'm gonna work my way back up. You brothers in the back. I'm gonna get to you, brother.
It said, "Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken."
Right. Hey, you know what? It all goes by faith. All right? As much as the destruction is going on right now, you got to have faith that you're going to be protected, man.
That's right.
Okay? And a lot of guys don't have fucking faith, man.
That's right, bro.
And all the destruction that's going on right now, and especially with the coronavirus and what's happening, and read Exodus, man. All right? You got to understand that in the time of Exodus, we was in the land of Goshen, that the Lord protected us from what was going on in Egypt, man.
That's right.
The Egyptians, they was going through all the hell, man.
That's right.
You see? And they was being destroyed from the plagues, man. And Israel at that time, they were being secluded from all of that, man. That's right. And you spin it to this day and era, man. The prophets, the men of the Lord, those that have faith in Yahweh Shem El Shai, those that have the blood on their doorposts, we will be protected, man.
That's that faith. That's right.
That's the faith.
This word is that blood.
That's right.
That transpired. Let me get them brothers behind you, brother. They've been standing up for a while.
Just make a quick point.
Yep, go ahead.
That faith is so key to our salvation. Because without putting that blood on the doorpost, there is no covenant.
But think that without faith is sin.
That's right, brother. And now it's going to go right to Hosea 4 and 6. You got to remember, if you're an Israelite and you don't have faith, it's because you have rejected Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You didn't want Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Hosea 4 and 6 says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." That lack of faith comes through lack of knowledge. And Ephesians, the first chapter, says that you had for him that first trusted in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, whom after he had first trusted, he believed, and then he was sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise. How are you going to believe, and like the scriptures say, how are you going to hear without a preacher? You got to hear the word, you got to believe the word, you got to trust in the word, then you got to do the word. Right. Without that process, you are not going to be saved.
And then, you know what, and if I'm labeled for death, then hey, I pray for the strength to face it like the brothers did.
Right.
I heard the brother, you know, the brother be kind of tripping sometimes, but I still got love from him. The head of Men of Valor. He said, if you got to be a sacrifice, be a fucking sacrifice. You know, and hey, because truth be said, it's written. Some of the men of the Lord are going to be martyred.
And if he said precious in the sight of the Lord is a definite
And then, but guess what? You're going to get the reward first.
That's right.
Thus saith the Lord.
Coming right with the cavalry.
Right.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, and verse 27. It says, "Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance."
That's right. That's right.
Hey, that's when you're going to play on the loudspeaker that damn irritating ass, what's his name? The dude from The Simpsons? What's that character?
Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson. Right. Right, you're going to play the Nelson laugh, real loud.
James Brown with big payback.
Revenge. Verse 28, "The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell."
And see, he gonna get mad when that comes into fruition, man.
Right.
Because he gonna want to do something and can't do nothing.
Shit.
Right?
And that's the scripture says in
And even his own women are turning on him too, man.
God knows.
Edomite women are turning on their men, man.
Oh, man.
Big time.
And just to add, like it says in Proverbs, it says, "Be not afraid of sudden fear when it cometh, or the desolation of the wicked," because all this judgment, this is what we've been praying for. This is for the wicked to go through. This isn't for us to go through as far as getting destroyed. The scripture says how the Lord has not appointed us unto wrath, but to obtain salvation. That's right. So we're going to go through our trials and tribulations to be tried, but at the end of the day, this is to bring judgment. This is what we've been crying out for, and the Lord is going to execute it.
Yeah, matter of fact, I already heard that they letting certain inmates and people out in other places because of this virus in some countries, in some places, man. Because they're like, hey, we don't want it to spread more. Let them free. All right. You got a scripture, brother?
Yeah, real quick. This is Habakkuk 2:3. It says, "For the vision is yet but for an appointed time." You know what I'm saying? Hey, so the Lord has blessed us to be able to see the vision of this place being destroyed, man. We see that this place is being destroyed, man. You know, and then reading on it says, "But at the end it shall speak." And so the words we speaking is the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that's coming to pass, man. It's coming to pass, man.
In the words of the mighty Kazak, the scriptures are speaking louder than a nigga woman on a cell phone in a public place. You know how loud they get. I had one get in the car. There's other people in the car. She got in the car like she was in her bedroom or something, man.
That's
you
what
know,
they do.
it was like, are you serious? All right, and the comments, it wasn't like it was work or something important. It was just some of that, and girl, that bullshit. Right. It just kept going. All right.
Yeah, roll over there.
Habakkuk 2:3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." That's it, right, man? That's right. So all these prophecies is coming to pass. It's going to come to pass. There ain't nothing that Esau can do to stop it. You know what I'm saying? And you can't reverse the curses that they about to receive, man. These prophecies is about to come to pass. That's it.
Yep, and Moab is a new nigga right now.
Right.
People are being racial toward them. People being cold-hearted for them. Their businesses are shut down. Nobody's shop. Chinatown is hurting. Nobody's going to their restaurants. Nobody's going to buy shit. You know, nothing.
That's right. And for the record, they ain't a new nigga for now. But Esau, that brain is coming.
Oh, he's the original. He's the original. He invented the
nigga. You will be returned to the
Esau gonna get his title back. Right? The nigga of the world.
Right.
Kawhi, brother.
This is Joel chapter 2, verse 28. It says, "And it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions." And pretty much the Lord is putting the spirit upon everybody to see the destruction that's going to come, man. You know, you got women that's crying and stuff, pouring tears out of their heart and stuff because they see that destruction that's going to come, the damage that's going to happen to this place, you know. Hey, even the strong men, man. Hey, the strong men, what's gonna happen? They're gonna sit up here and be afraid. They're gonna be scared, you know, and it's all coming to pass.
Hey, if I may say, you might as well hit that verse up above, because when all these things happen, you're gonna need the Lord in the midst of you, you know, for that comfort, you know, and for your sustaining. So you might as well hit that one too, brother.
This verse 27, it says, and ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord, your power, Yahweh, and none else.
That's right.
And my people shall never be ashamed. The Lord will have us, man, in the days, man. You know, we don't have to worry about looking over our shoulders, man. You know, we gonna be good, man.
Right. Now, everyone should mind. Yaqua, what you got, brother?
2 Peter chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 9. It says, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering towards us, not willing that he should perish, but that all should come to repentance. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt before me. The earth also and the works therein shall be burnt up. You know, and we see that, like the brothers get into, we see all this prophecy coming to pass now. You know, like the brothers described that Habakkuk, it says the prophecies are fulfilled, you know. So if you go up in the verse above, it says that the one day with the Lord is 1,000 years, you know, which is got hold fast what we have, you know, and we already see it, you know. We got that ice out, we can already see the things coming to pass. We just gotta hold on, you know.
That's right, brother. Right. Because we didn't even mention the expanding war in Syria and how more and more nations are getting drawn into it. That's still going on too.
And the United States blocked a UN resolution or something and blocked it. And Esau Edom has proven themselves to be nothing but troublemakers, man.
And the world is seeing them as so. Yeah. I had a Filipino chick just yesterday. That's you if you want it, brother. She was talking about how what's the president, Duterte? Yeah, you know how bold he is, but he speaks the truth when he talks about America. Because we just had a long conversation, the whole ride to the airport, because she's on her way to the Philippines to go visit her family. And yeah, she might want to stay. but nevertheless, she was signing crime. These people are fed up. You know, even the heathens are signing crime. And see, look, they need that new management. The earth needs new management now.
That's right.
Right? It just needs new management, and because Esau has proven, and all the people who are in charge, they have proven that they're incompetent, all right, and that they're not capable to teach, to lead, to be. They're just not, man. That's right.
And,
right.
And Yaqua, the elder said that you continue reading to 13. That Peter's.
That is back in 2 Peter 3 and verse 10. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these goods shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are you to be overcomers in godliness?
That's it, right here. That's right.
God.
Keep reading the last verse.
It says, look and hasten unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Oh, keep on reading the last one.
Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heaven and a new earth, wherein full of righteousness.
The kingdom of heaven, man. That new management, like the elder just said, man.
Yep.
Because this devil got to go, man.
That's right. All right, we're going to get ready to wrap it up, brother, so we can start the ceremony. No, you brothers who still got proof, we're going to finish these precepts, and then we're going to... So you got something, Bunyan? Oh, okay. Obadiah, go ahead, brother.
This is Ecclesiastes, Sirach 25 and 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue, a man that have joy of his children, and he that lived to see the fall of his enemies. That's right. So right now we're in the moment of seeing the fall of our enemies.
That's right.
I was watching the GMS LA camp, and they said he saw a Chinaman just fall to his knees, and all kind of crying going on, and he just put his hands up to the sky, you know, and you know, everybody, that's what's about to go down right now. Everybody's gonna feel the wrath of the Lord, and they so carnal that their carnalism is going to, you know, make them understand what death is about. That's right. So,
kind of brother, like that scripture said, we're gonna dance in our enemy's blood. I think this is man, I can't even crip walk, but I'm gonna be crip walking my ass off. I'm gonna be the coldest crip walker.
Right, because you don't do it.
Go ahead, brother.
West side connection on that.
Right.
This is Proverbs 29:2, and it says here, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
God, the whole world is mourning.
They're waiting for that new management.
Can I get another precept for you to back that up? This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, and this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 24. It says, "But the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world." And that multitude of the wise is the elect, man, okay? They're that group of people that are going to put this earth in a good estate again. And this whole earth needs that new management. Because everything is dying under Edom's rulership. Everything, man. Because he is death, man. All right? And Jacob's life and the whole world is going to flourish once again.
That's right.
You know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai.
Yes, he is.
All right?
Right.
That's right.
And that's a mighty scripture. The welfare of the world, you know, without us in rulership.
Tracy Chapman made a beautiful song, man. It's one of my favorites, man. And I like her too because she reminds me of my mother. You know, my mother passed. She in the spirit world, but she used to listen to that album all the time. And Tracy had a song, a beautiful song called "We All Bear Witness to the Rape of the World." You know, and if you never heard that song, I highly suggest that you listen to it because it's a powerful song, man. But that's what the whole song was about. We're bearing witness to the rape of the world, and the rape of the world was not done by Jake. Right. As a matter of fact, it wasn't done by Ammon. It wasn't done by Japhet. You know,
Ham.
Even Ham. It wasn't done by them.
It wasn't by Ishmael either.
It was done by Esau, Edom, the so-called white man.
That's right.
They raped and ruined and destroyed the whole world.
Yes.
All right? They did, man.
He didn't go home.
Next brother. Who's that behind you? Go ahead, buddy.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 7, verse 42. Verse 43, it says, "But the day of doom shall be the end of this time. And the beginning of immortality is to come, wherein corruption is past, and temperance is at an end, and fidelity is cut off. Righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up." So when you look at this, the day of doom symbolizes the apocalypse, or the so-called end of the world as we know it. The end of this time just means that the end of Esau's power structure.
And we've entered into that. We're into that stage now.
That's right. Truth is
All right?
springing up.
Yeah, this place is actually falling, man.
Yeah, that's why it tells you temperance is at an end, and then fidelity is cut off. All the wickedness that Esau has introduced into the world is gonna be no more.
Hey,
that's why truth is sprung up.
That's why that devil got on TV and said they're gonna say that it was man-made, it was made in the lab. Well, it was. You got the patent on it, fool. Right. I mean, these dudes. I mean, Esau a trip, man, because he'll ignore facts. He'll ignore that the sky is up and argue that it's down. You're right. You know that your right hand is your right hand. Even no, that's your left.
Well, they go back.
No, that's your left hand.
That proves that Psalm 58. He's born speaking live. He just a goddamn light.
Yeah.
Hey, what you said, it reminded me that the scene on that movie Conan, when Thulsa Doom gave that speech, he said, "The day of doom is near." He said that all your teachers, your parents, those that call themselves your judges, your leaders, they will all be cleansed, basically with fire. He said, all the people that say that they're going to be your judges, your leaders. Yeah, he was saying, he said, those who have lied and corrupted the earth, they shall all be cleansed.
Yeah.
Bro, that's real shit, man.
One more verse. It says, "Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that hath gotten the victory."
There you go, brother. Go ahead, Arala.
This is Romans 8. I'm going to start at 22. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even ourselves groaning within ourselves, waiting for the adoption to wit, the redemption of our body. All right, so everybody messed up, not only the whole world, but us as well. All right, hey, we going through, we want this to happen, man. All right, because that's our salvation. To see Esau go down, hey, we know that the pain that we dealing through, the sorrows and that fire, that trying time, is almost over, man.
Goes away.
You know? Hey, like the scripture say, Yahweh gonna wipe the tears away from my eyes, man. All right, so hey, so that groaning and that anguish and that pain and sorrows is gonna turn to joy and happiness.
That's right.
You know?
Okay. Go ahead, brother. We're gonna go right on down the line. We're done.
This is 2 Corinthians 10:4. It says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. And the strongholds was the lies of Esau when he told you the word, man. So I'm gonna go on the word stronghold, right?
Yeah, the Sistine Chapel, all them false images.
That's right.
Iconoclasm.
Go back to the Greek word okuruma. It says, anything on which one relies of the arguments and reasoning by which a disputant endeavors to fortify his opinion and defend it against his opponent. Now, we defending against our opponent, which is Esau.
Right.
With the truth.
With the truth.
Yep. Go ahead, brother.
This is Micah 7, and then I'm going to start at 14. It says, feed thy people with thy rod, the flock of thine heritage, which dwell solitarily in the woods in the midst of Carmel. Let them feed in Bashan and Gilead as in the days of old. And you know, the Lord is protecting us through all this madness. It said, according to the days of thy coming out of the land of Egypt, will I show unto him marvelous things. And that's exactly what we see in today. It said, the nations shall see and be confounded at all their might. They shall let their hand upon their mouths, and their ears shall be deaf. Because we don't look like fools anymore. We know we're being proved right in this latter times. And they spooked. It said, they shall lick the dust. They shall lick the dust like a serpent. They shall move out of their holes like the worms of the earth. They shall be afraid of Yahweh, our power, and shall fear because of thee. And these people are fucking spooked, man, and it's a great sign, man.
Including among these false brethren, man, some of these bootleg camps, man.
That's right.
Especially the ones who come against the mark of the beast, man. Because hey, Nate, and what he said, Nate got them, and all the people who came against him, they got to be looking really bad now. And now you can see we close to the time where they're going to do the forced implementation. Right. Millions of people already got it around the world. The infrastructure is set up for it. Right. So now when that forced implementation starts happening, what they gonna tell the flock that has been following that? A lot of people getting ready to lead them dudes along, man.
That's right.
And just like Bishop Bacon is gonna be getting put to death by his congregation. Hey, don't mess around. Nate might get killed by the men of IUIC, by some of his own members, man. Yeah, and I said it. He make Johanna too, man. Especially them damn motorcycle gun toting dudes right there, man.
That's right.
You know, they already showed you how they be at the range.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
They right. When they might come, they might get that dude, man.
That's right.
And they open shame.
That's right.
They gonna put to open shame, man. Teaching all them lies, man.
That's right, and they're doing that for vainglory. That's stolen valor between General Yohana, Nate, and several other those people who are claiming to be those righteous leaders.
Right, and Captain Tazariak right in the middle of that, man. Right, you know.
Because the true elders of Yasharallah will be Apostle Tahar and the elders on down. That's the true elders of Yasharallah.
Kind of, man. Right. You know, those honorable men that been with the apostles, the elder apostles all along, man. You know,
who never took their hand off the plow.
Who never took their hand. You know, Elder Menatazai, Elder Tazarwan, Elder Sakaran. You know, Elder Ainat. You know, Elder Ayathan. All of those men, man. You know,
and Hamad.
Elder Tazadakba, man. These are the Elder Big Gad. These are mighty, mighty men who must be mentioned, man.
And they humble, man. They eat humble pie. They don't even promote themselves. The Most High said, let another man praise you. We're praising them because they've done it, and they have been doing it visibly. Where's General Yohana out on the streets, man?
In the cold.
Where's he out on the streets? I haven't seen a street video even for shit.
He ain't got time for that, man.
He out there for the news reporters and all that shit, but now he got Shiala.
Yeah, because he didn't took that Judas purse, man. He done sold them dudes up the you know.
Hey,
go ahead, brother.
And all I'm saying, thanks to Yahweh Shimmy how Shai using them, man, like Paul Todd and them, we woke it.
And once again, thank you ISUPK for making our chances that much greater.
That's right.
I got two precepts. I mainly want to get the second one, but I'm going to get this one in case it wasn't read yet. Jeremiah 51:7, it says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that have made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. So all these things that Esau is implementing on the world, from mainly democracy and even their the way of life. Because, you know, they got the Netflix series, I think it's called Rotten or something like that, when they showed how with the avocado industry, how they dried up the land from migrating water. So all these ideas Esau's implementing into all these countries, and now this manifesting, just like when they come out with these medicines, and then years later, it calls, have you ever took this medicine? And you know what I'm saying?
All the time you get a commercial.
Yeah. So now the nations are dealing with the results of their ideas and getting destroyed behind it.
And it's funny, the Lord is using that same medicine against them. They built up this whole country to be dependent on medicine, but then they shipped the medicine makers to China, and now China can't make all the medicine because they fucked up. And so now the people ain't got their goddamn medicine.
The Lord is a cold chess player, man. Because this virus is doing, hey look, I think it's 44 med companies that are in 44 of them. All right? And China supplies more than 80% of the medicines to America. So all them people with them lie IQs, who was all into that money, who decided it was smart to put all the medicine over there, and now that supply chain is broken. So you got people that's on heart med, that's on they got sugar diabetes and all this right, and not to mention right. You're gonna have these people on these psychosis medicine that not gonna be able to get them. You're gonna have a nation of nuts running around mad as hell with hammers in their hands. Right? So yeah, so you're gonna have these schizophrenic people. You about to see some shit. Because that's another thing. It's not enough medicine for the people. So, and then you're gonna have that dude who angry because his mama died, especially Jake. You know how they are about, fuck my daddy, my mama died. Right? They mama died because she couldn't get her diabetes medicine. You know? And Esau gonna go, and same thing, he gonna go postal. He gonna want to go shoot up everything. When you just start looking at the possibilities of the destruction, the scenarios, it's gonna be insane, man.
That Joker movie, how a boy started running out there, the meds, they cut his ass off, and that's when he started shooting and killing motherfuckers and turned into the Joker.
This is true. As a matter of fact, when you were talking about the Joker, when Heath Ledger played him, what did he say when you take away all these people's comforts?
Oh yeah.
That same when he said, right, they gonna eat each other. And guess what? They literally gonna eat each other.
That's right.
Is there more to that?
Yeah, I got one more.
No, I was saying, didn't they show you that show you had us watch Containment?
You in my head. I was about to ask how many of you brothers saw Containment.
Watch that.
If you haven't seen it, you need to watch that whole series.
And even go watch Contagion, the movie, because that is all about right now.
So is Containment.
Exactly.
You had the Jake, he's married to Edomite. He had to go search for medication for her, man. You know?
God. The old Jake.
Old Jake,
the simple medication.
Yeah, the old Uncle Tom ass.
And that's
Uncle Ben.
Right.
Jake. Like he was on the side of the race.
Hey, and just for the record, they can go to the different parks and bench and pick up different natural remedies right in their feet, and they're going running to the goddamn drugstore because they don't know the truth.
Well, when you know like when you're driving across America and you drive across all you out in the middle of nowhere on our way to Nebraska, and you just drive for 5-6 hours, nothing but fields and trees and forests. Guess what's growing in those fields and trees and forests? Medicine. And a lot of that not Jake, but Esau, he owns all that land, and he takes that medicine and then he sends it over to China. He sells it to them, and then they make it, and they'll use parts of those different weeds that they spray stuff on to kill so it don't grow in your line. And that shit growing in your line, in a lot of cases, is what you need to heal you. Right. So they know which ones, and they learned all that from Gad, and then they capitalized on it. All right, and created this whole pharmaceutical.
That's right, bro.
I got one more. This is Romans chapter 9, verse 17. It says, "For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose had I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth." That's the main point. Esau was getting proud in his mind. But there's a saying, there's no atheists in foxholes. Like the brother was saying that Chinese, they praying up to the Most High. Everybody's going to pray to the Most High. And it's going to get to that point that everybody's going to bow. Every knee shall bow. Every knee shall bow.
Every tongue shall confess.
It's going to come from these afflictions. And all these people right now got these atheism or black atheists, or you believe in science and all that. But when shit hits the fan, you're independent woman, all that shit, when all that breaks, all this system breaks, you're going to be praying to the Most High. And that's the reality. That's what we're relying on. It's just the system that Esau created allows consistency. Your job, your gas, your car.
And now that's being broken.
Now it's being broken.
They can't continue with it, man.
Yep. And when it's purely broken, they're going to ultimately pray to the Most High, but it's going to be too late.
Yeah, right. And these spoiled entitled Americans, especially the Edomite ones, it's going to be a lot of suicides and a lot of killing, man. Because Esau going to be mad he lost his kingdom, and he's losing his kingdom, and he's going to use his blessing.
That's right.
All right.
Go ahead, man.
No, we just going to go right on down, man.
Okay, Khan, this is Micah 7 in chapter 18, and I'm going to read down to 20. It says, "Who is a power like unto thee, that parteth iniquity, and passeth by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage? He retaineth not his anger forever, because he delighteth in mercy. He will turn again, he will have compassion upon us. He will subdue our iniquities, and thou wilt cast all their sins unto the depths of the sea. Thou wilt perform the truth to Jacob, and the mercy to Abraham, which thou hast sworn unto our fathers from the days of old." And basically, this is the power that's on our side, This is who we're turning unto. And like in Psalms, it said, "And sinners shall be converted unto thee." But basically, the apostles and others have been converting men to serve and fear the Lord. And this is what we're doing. We're rehearsing, all right, having that fear, seeing all those plagues coming upon America, seeing their economy go down, seeing these things, that pestilence that's at the door. We're really at our own exodus, man. This is really that same spirit coming back, man, and we actually see and have the foresight to understand. Because in Isaiah 6, it tells you that these people ain't going to comprehend till the cities are desolate. So if you understand what's going on now, you're part of that. You're part of that remnant that the Lord is going to pass over, man. And that's hell of a hope, man.
People ain't buying up all the toilet tissue and paper towels for nothing, man.
This is Psalms 91:1. It says, verse 2, it says, "I will say of the Lord Yahweh, he is my refuge and my fortress. My power, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence." I'm skipping on down to verse 6. It says, "Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made the Lord Yahweh, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation."
Because we stay in these scriptures, we stay prayed up, we stay doing this work.
1 Thessalonians 5:1 says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Nah, it's like, every time Trump get on TV and mention this Wuhan, he's telling you it's just like the regular flu. There's nothing to worry about. The same amount of people, 60,000 people die a year from the flu, whatever you say.
All right.
It's all good. The economy's bouncing back. Unemployment's at the lowest. All right. Right. Every time, everything is peace. Yeah. So, but meanwhile, what do you see happening in the world, man?
Death.
Hey, it says victuals shall be so cheap, but evil shall increase in the world, man.
Right.
So what we got? Plagues of locusts. The fucking snow. It was snow that turned blood red. Yeah, rivers of blood, snow turning blood red. Right. It's going down out here, man.
That's right.
And it's in the face.
And you know, the scripture says, it's like the scripture says, there's no need that I write unto you. And who that's talking about? It's talking about the prophets, man. The men of the Lord. Hey, man, who else is doing this right now? Who else is doing this on the planet? Think about it. You got to really think about who is doing what we're doing right now on the planet Earth. The entire Earth right now.
Dan, it's Saturday.
Who's doing it?
They in the bars, they get ready to go to the club.
Committing adultery.
Adultery.
Who's doing it right now?
Sabbath.
It's
They
the
get ready
first-
to go watch the fight. They're not thinking about certain
It's the first warm day of the year, really. And then we was coming, it was traffic. Yeah. And I was riding on Cicero. So we found out what the traffic was. It was so many cars for the fucking car wash because it finally got warm so they could get to their folly, man. All
So
these
you can have a clean ride.
Yeah,
That's it. Hey, read that again, Baba Kusha. Read that again one more time, Baba Kusha.
1 Thessalonians 5, chapter 5, verse 1 says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
So while we're doing this, while we're holding the Passover, while we're holding the Pesach, okay, while we're supplicating and praying and fasting to Yahweh Shem Shai, there's no need that these epistles is writing to us. Why? Because we know. And don't nobody else know, man.
We're on our watch.
We're on the watch. We're on the watch. Okay? So everybody's gonna get caught the fuck up out of here, man. And you're gonna have that the scripture says, gird up thy loins like a man. Because guess what? If your mother and your father, your auntie, your uncle, whoever it is, ain't down with this, they're gonna be destroyed, man.
Let's go, Chan.
Okay? Everybody's gonna be destroyed, man. And you gotta come to that realization that everybody, hey, these is the walking fucking dead that we're seeing, man. All these people that we come across is gonna be fucking destroyed, man. So there's no need, man.
That's right.
If I can say something.
Okay?
Just to put that in perspective, it says as a woman in travail, right? When you look at a woman in travail when she's about to have birth, that's constant pain. And it's something that's coming that's inevitable. So there's something that's there's going to be a huge sense of distraught out in the world, man. You know? And these people aren't going to be able to rid themselves of it. And it's
short fuse, they're going to be scared. It's the violence.
Yeah. Right. And it's going to come one after another. Bam, 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 bam. And you be talking about people like the brother just said, they just got them breaking down. These people have no idea what's going on.
No.
The brother just told you that they run a line in a car wash for their folly. What's gonna happen when they in that line for that car wash for their folly, and there's a global epidemic that happens, and everybody
lines for food.
Right. Or they just get shot up. They get shot up in that line for that car wash. You know. Or
been robbed.
They get robbed, stabbed. You know,
it's gonna get so bad that people gonna be rolling up on cars, not even steal the car, but they take the gas out the car.
Yep.
It's gonna get right. They gonna pull and roll up on you, break yourself, and then put the holes in your tanks. Right.
That's right. And they do that for the people think they got their food and they walking out with their cart and they go into their car. They gonna be
give me that.
Put it in that trunk right there.
What's my the big road?
Yeah, put that right there in that trunk right there.
All of it.
He said, Brody gonna eat good tonight.
Ball.
Oh, good, right? That nigga had a ball.
Right. Hey, it's a little bit more on that, Baba Kusha. Go ahead. Come on,
It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness,
that pain, cause she be normal walking out nowhere. Ah, she lean back. That's that motherfucker
Out the blue.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. You hear that splash sound, that water break?
Yep. Out the blue. That contraction fucked you up. It's random. They don't expect it.
And the intensity and the length is always different and varies.
Yeah.
But it doesn't go back.
I heard women start cussing their husbands out. You
right.
did this to me.
Yep.
That's it. Hey, but that's what it is, man.
Right.
It's upon you, and nothing can be done about it. Is some more to that, brother?
Got some more of that?
Brother.
It says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober.
That's the point. Let us watch and be sober. Right? So, Slocky, but it says let us watch and be sober. Not sober as in, not drinking, but sober as in clear-minded.
So what we having that eyesight.
Yes.
So see, the Lord gave us that so we can, so we can see, man. Like you said, brother, these people, they're the walking dead, man. They're already dead, man. That's right. Hey, say we gonna
Let's sit on that. Let's sit on that.
Hey, so with that, we're gonna give all praises, glory, and honor
unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rekakodash.
Abba,